If you're in the market for a motorhome, you have a lot of options, from units that you pull behind you to those that you drive. The ones you drive, which is what we're interested in, can be as big as a Class A and can be up to 45 feet long, or as small as a Class B, some even under 18 feet. The interesting thing is, the more expensive models can actually be the smaller Class B vans. I looked up prices for 2022 gas-powered motorhomes that had low mileage using my favorite place to find these things, RV Trader. Now, these were online sales prices, not retail, so I tried to find a lot of examples to be as accurate as I could. There are, of course, very expensive Class A motorhomes, even costing into the millions. Anyway, I was looking for something that was affordable for someone getting into the RVing lifestyle, not motorhomes well out of any normal person's salary range. And what I found was pretty unexpected. You can actually buy a Class A for less than $120,000. Now, that wasn't the norm, of course, but still, I had no idea that was even possible. Most of the Class A's I found, at least those around 30 feet long or so, like the Intera Vision 29S, cost around $125,000. The Vision is a little over 31 feet long, holds up to 72 gallons of fresh water, and it can sleep 6. And that's a pretty good sized family or group of friends going on an RVing adventure. This was a typical sales price for these kinds of motorhomes, so I'm using that price as an average. Of course, I am unsure of the build quality or even what might be included, but the point is, it might not be as expensive as you think to get into RVing, even if you want a Class A motorhome. And then there were Class C's that also cost less than a Class B. The lowest priced Class C I could find was under $80,000, which is still kind of amazing, although a lot of what I found ran right around $115,000, like the East to West Entrada 2900 DS. So I'm using that figure as the standard price for similar Class C builds. The Entrada is just over 32 feet long, so it's actually longer than those smaller Class A's. It has a 35-gallon freshwater capacity and can actually sleep up to 7 people. Now again, can't say anything about the quality of the build or what's included. Compare all of these with the average Class B, that may be only 21 feet long, only sleep 2, and may have as little as 18 gallons of freshwater capacity. Of course, these prices can get expensive for high-quality builds, but they can also go pretty low for cheap builds. Quite a few Class Bs out there fell right around $130,000, like the Coachman Nova 20RB. So I'm considering that the normal sales price for a Class B. It's pretty typical, just 21 feet long, sleeping 2, but it has a freshwater capacity of 27 gallons, which is good for a Class B build. I'm sure there's a lot of variability here. AGM versus lithium batteries, built-in slide-outs, including awnings or generators. And of course, it's possible to wheel and deal and get a better price for any of these motorhomes, but the prices I found were online sales prices, so comparatively speaking, the average price of a Class B van is usually greater than the average for a Class C or even a small Class A, which is the point I'm trying to make. Everything else being equal, a Class B is going to be about 4% more expensive than a smaller Class A and about 13% more expensive than a Class C. I can understand the Class A price since it's obviously on the small side, and who really knows about its quality. But the average Class C gave a substantial savings compared to the Class B. So why do Class Bs cost so much? Unlike a Class A or C, a builder has very tough limitations they have to overcome when building on a van chassis. They have to use the dimensions of the van and build within those constraints. They have mufflers and catalytic converters and wheel wells they have to work around. And these build limitations cost money, labor, and time, so prices are naturally going to be higher. Meanwhile, Class A's and C's are built on a cutaway chassis, which means they can size and shape the body of the motorhome any way they want and do away with a lot of the frustrations in the build, which brings down costs. If you're considering buying an RV to save money while traveling, that's probably not going to happen. Look at it this way. Even if you buy the cheapest Class C at $80,000, you are still going to pay taxes on that price, and unless you happen to have that money in the bank, you're taking out a loan, which means interest payments. You may be paying more than 50 grand just in interest on a 20-year loan. Even a 10-year loan would be over 24 grand. Not only that, I have yet to meet any RV owner that doesn't want to do some kind of modification to their rig, and that costs money. And let's be truthful here. If a motorhome costs less, there's a reason. And that reason usually is cheaper materials and a lower quality of build. And that equates to repairs, which cost money. There is no free ride, and I don't believe in the theory that says it's better to buy a used RV since all that can go wrong with an RV has already been fixed. This assumes the previous owner has already fixed all the issues, and that is one big assumption. It's just as likely the owner got fed up and didn't bother to keep trying to fix anything. So buying a new or used or high or low quality RV build is really up to you. Just remember, you're going to pay one way or another. Ultimately, you don't go buying a motorhome to save money traveling. You buy one for the experiences. You buy one because it provides options you just don't have driving a car or flying a plane. So, regardless of what motorhome you're interested in, you need to start by understanding the real costs. Then consider what you get in return. On the practical side, ask yourself, would you spend the same amount of money as that RV costs on vacations and travel? Let's say you spend around 5 grand on the average vacation for you and your family, and the RV costs 80 grand. This means you would have to go on 16 vacations before you even broke even on that RV cost. Now, if you go on vacation twice a year, that's 8 years. And that doesn't include upkeep on that RV or loan repayments. You also have to consider if the RV will provide you with options that are just not possible with the style of travel you want to do, like stopping at a moment's notice or boondocking or whatever. Are these positives worth the cost? And finally, there are those intangibles, those experiences that you find when traveling in an RV that just don't happen otherwise. You can meet new people just by being in an RV and showing it off. Is that important to you? Does the RV give you the opportunity to travel to places you otherwise would skip, or allow you to stay longer than when you drive your car? Are those experiences worth the additional expense of the RV? That question can only be answered by you. For us, the answer is a resounding yes. Be seeing you.